Hollywood's golden age wasn't just a time, it was a cinematic royal court ruled by actors who were larger than life. These weren't just stars, they were cosmic forces, making audiences laugh, cry, and swoon on repeat. From dashing heartthrobs to tough guy anti-heroes, they set the gold standard for Hollywood greatness. Their legacies still inspire today, proving that true talent never fades. So grab your popcorn because this trip down memory lane is more binge-worthy than your favorite streaming show. Number 10. Gene Kelly, the tap-dancing dynamo. Gene Kelly wasn't just a performer, he was a revolutionary force in musical cinema. A man with the energy of 100 dancers and the vision of a master choreographer, Kelly changed the way dance was filmed. Unlike his predecessors, he believed that the camera should be a dancer too, moving along with performers rather than staying still. His work in Singin' in the Rain and On the Town, which he co-directed with Stanley Donen, redefined the musical genre, infusing it with dynamic camera movements that enhanced the storytelling. Kelly wasn't just graceful, he was an athlete, turning his performances into a spectacle of agility and strength. Watching him dance felt like witnessing poetry in motion, and his legacy continues to influence performers to this day. Number 9. Robert Mitchum, the smooth-talking anti-hero. If ever there was a man who could make menace look effortlessly cool, it was Robert Mitchum. With his deep voice, rugged looks, and an aura of mystery, Mitchum became the poster child for film noir. He was the kind of guy who could deliver a line with a cigarette barely hanging from his lips and still make it sound like Shakespeare. In movies like The Night of the Hunter, Cape Fear, and Out of the Past, Mitchum crafted a unique brand of masculinity, intense, unpredictable, and dangerously charming. He played both heroes and villains, but no matter the role, he always left an indelible mark on the audience. The best part, he made acting look so easy. Unlike method actors of his time, Mitchum claimed he never struggled with remembering lines or perfecting accents. His natural screen presence and effortless delivery made many of his contemporaries green with envy. Number 8. Henry Fonda, the epitome of integrity. Henry Fonda wasn't just an actor. He was a symbol of unwavering decency in an industry often driven by spectacle. His ability to convey deep emotion with subtlety set him apart, making every role feel authentic and impactful. Unlike many of his peers who relied on dramatic flair, Fonda's strength lay in his quiet intensity, his ability to say more with a single glance than others could with an entire monologue. His on-screen presence exuded a sense of honesty and moral clarity, making audiences trust and relate to his characters effortlessly. Whether he was standing up for justice in 12 Angry Men or portraying a steadfast leader in The Grapes of Wrath, his performances were always rooted in realism. Even in roles that challenged traditional heroism, he maintained an air of dignity that made his characters compelling. His influence on Hollywood didn't just come from his acting, but also from the way he carried himself off-screen, reserved, principled, and deeply committed to his craft. Number 7. Fred Astaire, the gentleman of dance. If there was ever a man who could make walking across a room look like an art form, it was Fred Astaire. While most actors spent their careers mastering dialogue delivery, Astaire turned movement into storytelling. His partnership with Ginger Rogers in the 1930s resulted in some of the most mesmerizing dance numbers ever put on film. But Astaire wasn't just a phenomenal dancer, he revolutionized the way musicals were shot. He insisted on full-body shots and long takes, ensuring that audiences saw every intricate step without unnecessary edits. His technique set a new standard for Hollywood musicals, making dance sequences feel more immersive and authentic. Off-screen, Astaire was as charming as his on-screen persona, a well-dressed enigma who preferred a quiet life. But on-screen, he was pure magic. With his effortless grace, impeccable timing, and unmatched creativity, he cemented his legacy as one of the greatest performers of all time. Number 6. Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood. If Hollywood royalty had a throne, Clark Gable would have been its king. With his devilish grin, confident swagger, and irresistible charm, Gable was the ultimate leading man. Best known for Gone with the Wind, Gable spent over 30 years at the top of the industry, making women swoon and men wish they had his confidence. His on-screen chemistry with actresses like Joan Crawford and Myrna Loy turned romantic comedies into legendary films. What set him apart wasn't just his good looks. It was the way he blended masculinity with boyish charm. He could play a tough guy, a smooth talker, or a hopeless romantic, and audiences would love him just the same. Number 5. Marlon Brando, the game changer. There's a reason Marlon Brando was named Actor of the Century by Time magazine. He didn't just act, he transformed the craft. One of the pioneers of method acting, Brando brought raw, emotional depth to his roles, forever changing the way performances were measured. Whether it was his powerful turn in A Streetcar Named Desire, his gut-wrenching performance in On the Waterfront, or his legendary role as Don Corleone in The Godfather, Brando delivered performances that felt real, painful, and deeply human. Despite a rocky career in the 1960s, Brando made a triumphant return in the 70s, proving that true talent never fades. Number 4. Spencer Tracy, the everyman's actor. Spencer Tracy was the kind of actor who made you forget he was acting. He had an effortless style, a natural ease that made every role seem tailor-made for him. From westerns to romantic comedies, Tracy excelled in every genre. His real-life romance with Katharine Hepburn translated into electrifying on-screen chemistry, making their films some of the most beloved of all time. Tracy was known for his humility, often downplaying the importance of acting. But make no mistake, his performances were anything but ordinary. Number 3. Cary Grant, the definition of suave. Cary Grant wasn't just a star, he was a lifestyle. With his impeccable style, witty charm, and effortless cool, Grant could turn any film into a classic. He had a knack for balancing humor with sophistication, making audiences laugh in films like His Girl Friday while keeping them on edge in Hitchcock thrillers like Notorious and North by Northwest. What made Grant truly remarkable was his versatility. He could be the dashing romantic lead one moment and the slapstick comedian the next, and somehow it all worked. Number 2. James Stewart, Hollywood's moral compass. James Stewart was the ultimate nice guy, and that's exactly what made him so compelling. His distinctive voice and genuine persona made him one of the most relatable actors of his time. Whether it was It's a Wonderful Life or Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Stewart played characters that represented the very best of humanity. He wasn't flashy or overly dramatic. He was real, and that's what made audiences love him. He could also play against type, as seen in Hitchcock's Vertigo and Rear Window, proving that beneath that all-American charm was an actor capable of deep psychological performances. Number 1. Humphrey Bogart, the coolest of them all. Some actors are loved, some are respected, and then there's Humphrey Bogart, the man who became a legend. He wasn't conventionally handsome, nor was he the tallest guy in the room, but he had something no one else did, an undeniable presence. With his world-weary eyes and gravelly voice, Bogart made brooding look cool. From Casablanca to The Maltese Falcon, he played cynical yet romantic heroes, men who had seen the worst of the world but still held on to a sliver of hope. His performances were raw, real, and utterly magnetic, and that's why, when it comes to classic Hollywood legends, no one does it quite like Bogart. These stars might have belonged to another era, but their brilliance is timeless. Their performances continue to inspire, their legacies remain unshaken, and their movies, well, they'll never get old. And that's a wrap on Hollywood's greatest legends. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. Drop a comment below. Who's your all-time favorite star? And remember, in the words of Bogart, here's looking at you, kid, but only if you've subscribed.